Hello there.
Hello.
Hello. Karen and I are just enjoying a little witch's brew here in our mugs. I've got my Ouija mug and she's got her
My
extraterrestrial.
alien mug.
Her alien mug. Hey everybody, it's Marla Martinson and you are watching another episode of Conversations with Cupid. And I'm back with the amazing Karen Dahlman. Yahoo!
Yay!
And we're with our witches hats again because guess what? We are talking Ouija boards. And she's got her Ouijas back there. I've got my board. She's got her crystal skull. We are getting the energy flowing. So today is really fun because we are answering viewer questions. We've got some amazing viewers and fans out there. And you've got some questions about using the Ouija board. So Karen is the big expert. I use the board, but she's got 42 years into it. So she's like, you know, way ahead of me. So we're gonna let her answer the tough questions. All right. So we've got a really good friend out there named Ryan. Hey Ryan.
Hey Ryan.
We love you. Thanks for doing all the tweets and sharing our posts, and we just love you. So we're gonna answer your question. Ryan says, spiritual signatures from the different beings we talk with through the board. So he's interested in finding out these spiritual signatures. So what do you have to say to Ryan?
Ryan, first of all, I want to say keep up the great work. I enjoy what you're doing with the board. He's really an exemplary person using this board, and he's come a long ways with this tool as well. So that's a great question, Ryan, because when we start working with the energies, whether there are angels or guides or guardians, helpers, spirit helpers, our deceased loved ones, when they enter the board, they enter with, if you will, a signature. Now, everybody's signature is unique. It's almost like a fingerprint. Everybody's fingerprint is unique. So, for example, if the spirit's going to be coming in, they may come in different with each board. So sometimes they come in like a figure eight, may come in like circles, may come in really fast. One of my favorite spirit guides comes in at the moon or may come in at the sun. But when they move, I know the difference between which character, which entity, which spirit I'm speaking with because of the way they move the planchette. I feel it in my fingers. I feel it if it's smooth, if it's kind of choppy. I have one angel who comes in and she goes like this, real direct to each letter, where other ones do more of a Skyping. They're texting in a way. They're texting and swiping, and they're coming in like that, or they may circle. So you get to know these signatures of your spiritual friends by the way they come in and move around the planchette. Thank you for the question. Great question.
Yeah, that's great. And the same with me. I have, you know, my little board here, and one, they'll usually come here and say, yes, hello, Marla. So they all tend to do that, yes, hello, and say who they are. But then some of them will go straight up, and then that's somebody else will take that right up there and then down. So they do have different energies and different ways of communicating on here. You know,
and Marla, you know too, when they come in and actually when somebody comes in mid-conversation, one of your guides, you know who it is, don't you?
Yes, a lot of times through the way they're speaking, or sometimes I'll say, who is this? Because a couple of them do sound kind of the same, and they're angels. And then a friend's dad who comes in who is deceased, he's a New Yorker, so he's got his way of, he's like, hey, you know, talk to me. He said one time, and I could just hear that New York voice, talk to me.
Yeah, talk to me now.
Talk to me, baby. Talk to me.
Yeah, and I met him before with the session we did.
Yeah, and he's a great
guy. And he
guy.
moves differently. I remember that. He moves differently, and then, right, the wording is differently, too.
Mm-hmm.
I've done experiments before where I've just been blindfolded and felt the different energies and then been able to understand and guess who they are. This is something you start to understand more as you progress with the use of the board. This won't happen right away. It's usually after a certain amount of time, and it could be months to years before you really totally understand their different signature when they come in. But each one is very unique. It's about their vibration. It's their frequency and how they vibrate with the energy that we're working with. So it's a really cool thing to look towards understanding more and start to see if you can recognize and notice which guides and who they are when they're coming and talking to you.
Yeah, it's a never-ending thing. There's so many things we can do with this. This is so much fun. So we have another question. Gosh, I love these viewer questions. Thank you, viewers.
I do too.
Okay, Mark, he says, I've done the Ouija board about 20 times on ghost hunts and not had anything happen. Do they work or what?
Yeah, great question. I think we have a few of those questions come in. We had, I think, 2 or 3 similar.
Yeah, because there's also Ryan, okay, another guy called Ryan Baker. He says, how do you actually summon anything at all? I've literally tried everything for years, tried by myself, one with the other person and one with a group of people, have tried plastic boards, wooden boards, have been nice and ridiculed the spirits, and still nothing. I've tried for years, he says, to get absolutely anything legit to happen. So you'll address that and address ridiculing the spirits, because I don't think that's a good idea. Who's going to come in when you're doing that, right?
Yeah, I'm never going to ridicule anyone. But let's start with the first topic, which is, I can't get this board to work. Why is it not working? I've tried the masonite, I've tried the cardboard, I tried the wood. I've got masonite here, I've got wood back here. You know what? It's not the board, people. That's what I'm really clear about. Great question, because it's not about the board at all. And people think these boards are imbued with some kind of magic potion or spell that will help them work, and that's not the case. They're neutral. So what it's really about is about ourselves. So if it can't work, you've tried and tried. I'm going to give you some suggestions here that you may want to try it one more time. Only if, I've got to do this disclaimer, only if you feel like you're called to this tool. Because like most of us have our certain tools that work really well for us. It may not work for everybody. And I'll just be the first to tell you that it may not work for everybody. But after saying that, I've worked with many different people teaching about how to use this board, and they can. It just always takes so much time on the planchette. Many, many miles over the board on the planchette is what it takes. So this is what I highly recommend. Have one partner. If you keep switching partners, different people you use the board with, what happens is you have to re-establish that connection again. Now, I work with different partners because I've been using it for 42 years. But when I first started, I was pretty much with one person, and then I, move off to somebody else eventually. But I usually stick with one partner, and that one partner is the key to creating this energy connection that will help pull them in, and they can use that energy to make the planchette move. So number 1, try to stick with one partner. Number 2, never ridicule. Always be really receptive and open, and welcome them, invite them, and say, I would love to make contact with my guides. Don't open it to anything or anybody. Yeah, be really careful about that, but be real clear that you want to speak to those who have your highest good at heart, period. Guides, guardians, angels. I know Marla speaks to a bunch of angels. I speak to angel guides and guardians. We may speak to a few deceased people who have our best interests at heart, loved ones, etc. That will help you to establish a communication with someone who's familiar with you and knows your energy. Number 3, patience. Patience, Marla. Did I say patience yet? Patience. Biggest thing is that always have respect and patience. So you do a session for maybe half an hour to 45 minutes, maybe an hour at the most. It doesn't work, that's okay. Don't get frustrated. It's like this for a lot of people. Doesn't mean if you have a desire to do it, doesn't mean it won't happen. It just will take time.
Yeah, so, and my own experience with that is when my friend Julie and I, the first time we tried it, it did move, and we were so excited, and it worked and everything. But then I wanted to start using it on my own because I didn't want to have to call Julie over every time I needed to use it. It was just like, what could I do? So trying it on my own, I tried it for months and months without anything happening, and I'm like, oh, should I even try it anymore? And I'd sit there and I'd say, okay, I'm just going to sit here 5 minutes. That's it, because my back would hurt. It's like sitting there. I didn't have the patience to sit there for 20 minutes. So I would do it 5 every day, and finally it started to work. With the attunements, I got attuned to Reiki, I was meditating, I got attuned to life force energy, I got the reconnection, which is another attunement. So all these attunements and working on myself opened myself up to the energy. So I want to tell everybody that you do need to be working on yourself, raising your vibration. A lot of it is about energy and vibration. You could sit there till kingdom come. It's not going to work if you don't raise your vibration, in my opinion.
And that's a great point. She's absolutely 100% right. What I've learned over the years myself, it's your vibration and what you're doing outside of the session. Bingo, big one.
Yeah.
So if you are doing your own meditations, as she's doing a lot of energy work, I've done a lot of energy work I still do to this day. My crystal skull is part of that. It's just all this energy work we do on ourselves that raises our vibration. She's absolutely right. It allows them more easily to come through. And to communicate with us. So please, take your practice outside of the board. The board is not a practice. The board is a tool only. You are the key.
You are the key. And also in some of our previous videos, like the first and second ones, we do give some like prayers for opening and closing the session. So you can watch some of the other videos and leave any questions you have below. And we will talk to you soon, Ouija lovers.
Bye. Happy boarding.